Oh, shiny! Alright guys, so lately we've all been just bombarded with hints and rumors about the different things that are coming to the game with no real ETA. And no, I'm sorry, I understand people want to say this, but saying by the end of 2017 is not a timeline or even anything close to it, in fact. It's more like a guess. I mean, I could say I'm going to die by the end of 2017. I mean, you just don't know. A lot of things are going to happen by the end of 2017. And if all that stuff doesn't come out by the end of 2017, they have a serious problem. They gave themselves a nice, huge window. So anyway, we've heard everything from gym updates to promise of proximity trading in the far future. So, it's a lot to get excited about, especially if you're a huge fan of the game like I am and a lot of other people. If you're patient enough, that is, which unfortunately I'm not. This isn't even including the internet rumors of live events and whatever in the world they might hold. I mean, I know the CEO of Pokemon Go, Niantic Labs, has said that that's one of his main focuses is the live events, but he hasn't really gone into exactly what that is because there's a lot of different things that go into it. I mean, you're talking about mob type situations. I mean, if you go and say, okay, well, in Times Square at 12 p.m. at on whatever day, Mewtwo is being released, and only in that spot, let's say only in that spot. Can you imagine what that's going to look like? Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's going to look like New Year's Eve in that place. It's just the way the game is. It's the way the people are. They want that trophy. And let's be honest, that's what each one of these Pocket Monsters is. It's a trophy. It's something to hold up. That's why people try to get the Snorlax and Lampas and Tyrant. I mean, it is a trophy. It's something to say, I have this and you don't. Okay? It's one of those age-old kids things where I got the new game and you don't. I got a new bike and you don't. I mean, you could say it's petty, but it kind of is what it is. But now, the biggest question, besides the legendary release, is the status of the shiny Pokemon in the game. Niantic hasn't said very much at all about it. However, we do know for a fact that they've planted the coding seeds to have shiny Pokemon in the game. Now, the Silph Road Pokemon Go community, who does a ton of the data mines on every update released for Pokemon Go, and they found in two particular updates, 49.1 and 57.2, that show that there's some code corresponding to the implementation of shiny Pokemon and how they will appear in the game. For instance, the biggest one, 0.57.2. I love how they always come up with these weird numbers for updates. They really should just do like 1, 2, 3. It really kind of gives me a headache. Anyway, they data mined, and it was especially important because they found 3 pieces of code that were labeled FX. Especially, it was called Shiny Spawn FX and Sparkly FX and Play Shiny FX. Data miners used this to summarize that when implemented, shiny Pokemon would look different on the Pokemon Go map and have a special sparkle effect on the map to show where they are. Without more data, however, it's kind of tough to say how they're going to look in the game. But if you had to guess, most likely they're going to have the same color schemes as the shiny Pokemon in the video games themselves. Now, people are saying, okay, well, what else is going to make them different? Most likely, nothing at all. It's going to be a color thing. It's going to be a status thing, just like the Pikachus with the hats. I still have mine and my Raichus with the hats because they're kind of like, again, they're trophies. They might not come again. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having that Hess truck. Everybody, maybe not everybody, but some people knows the Hess trucks. The Hess truck comes out every year, or the Coke bottle with that particular Santa Claus on it, or whatever. It's not going to come back around again. So, they're trophies. So shiny Pokemon, and supposedly the rarity is supposed to be something ridiculous. I don't know if it's unknown rarity or not, but it's supposed to be like super rare. Somebody told me like something like, I think it was like 1 in 8,000. I don't know. That's a bit on the ridiculous side. But, and there's only very few, not everything has a shiny version. And they might not even release all the shiny versions they have. It's just another thing they could do to add more time to the game. So, but as for attributes, I mean, it's probably going to have a tag that says shiny in the different color and maybe the sparkle effect. But other than that, I don't see it having any type of effect on battles or anything else. It's just simply trophies, which this whole thing brings me up to another little point I want to make. In my personal opinion, I think they need to make the Pokemon backpack bigger by default. Now, I understand you can make it bigger by buying, Pokecoins and, making it bigger that way. But not everybody out there can or wants to spend money on the game. They enjoy playing the game, but they don't have the money, don't want to spend the money. Their parents won't let them spend the money, whatever it might be. Because, I mean, listen, not for nothing, it's not, a couple of pennies here. You can only buy them in certain increments, and that's fine. But, I mean, with as many as you can hold now, I mean, you can easily fill that up times 2 if you get one of everything. And some people just like having one of everything in their bag. I myself am kind of like that. Plus, you take into account the 26 unknown ones. Then there's the legendaries. People don't want to be tied down and go and say, okay, well, I can only hold one Chansey or one Blissey because I got... so, and as time goes on, you're not going to have much of a choice unless they upgrade it themselves and they move up the default. So I think that's something that, I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks. I kind of hope you all agree with me unless you enjoy spending money on it. And I understand they got to make money to keep making the game. I get that. But we're talking about holding Pokemon. We're not talking about the eggs or the incense or anything like that or lures. I'm talking about just the backpack itself. You know what I mean? Okay, fine, you have a limit on items. Okay, I get that. They keep adding more items to the game, which makes it even more difficult to hold, But it is what it is. I mean, I'm at the point now where I actually had to delete a bunch of regular Pokeballs just to make room. So, that's kind of what's looking like. Now, we still really don't know anything about the legendary stuff. Okay, fine, by the end of 2017, there could be several dates that could mean. Easter could be a big thing. Mewtwo coming out of an egg, maybe. That would be pretty awesome. I'm telling you, a special Easter egg makes sense. I mean, you have to be crazy to think it's not. I mean, it's eggs. I mean, what other holiday corresponds to eggs better than Easter? Regardless of what religion you are. I mean, Easter's eggs. You know what I mean? So, I wanted to bring everybody's attention. That's pretty much the update that's going around now about the shiny Pokemon. A lot of people already know about this. Some people don't realize this. Some people don't. Some people still think the shiny Pokemon are not going to be in the game. They are going to eventually be in the game. The coding's there. The implementation is there. It's just not out yet. I mean, they've laid the building blocks, the foundation. They wouldn't do that if they didn't plan on releasing it. Now, when they're going to do this, God only knows. Between that and everything else that they're talking about, I don't know when they would do it. The legendaries, I don't expect them to be out all at the same time. I don't. It wouldn't make any sense for them to do that. But I do expect them to be kind of maybe drawn out, maybe on the anniversary of the game. Easter's coming, then you got July 4th. Well, that's an American holiday, but, you have the other Independence Days. You have Halloween again. Then there's Christmas and Thanksgiving and Boxing Day for Canada. I mean, all these different places have a lot of different days. You have, like France's Independence Day. You have all these other Independence Days. You have a lot of holidays coming up, so we'll see kind of where it goes. Summer and spring are right around the corner, so you know what that means. People are going to be out more walking. The game's going to pick up a lot more, so once that happens, I think we're going to see a whole lot more of that. Anyway, that's it for me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and catch you next time.